'twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. All right, welcome to We Are
Something Else.
All right. Welcome to We Are Something Else presents We Are Something Else, episode 185. Nobody knows. And what they don't know is that we're all here. And what we don't know is if Rich's sound is working. So, fellas. Oh, there's Dee Dee. Appreciate y'all for being here. Episode 185, my guys. 15 away from 200. Wow, that is that deserves a round of applause. Come off mute, fellas. How's everybody doing this evening? CB.
It's been a good evening, I guess. There's a very I guess fantasy football friendly football game going on right now. So yeah, for any teams that are in the fantasy playoffs, you probably got some people playing tonight if you advance this far. So yeah, I got that going on in the background, but otherwise, like, happy to be out here hanging with the homies.
I can tell you who's not in the fantasy football playoffs in any of his 4 leagues. That's this guy right here. Hey, what's good, bro?
What's going on?
Look at God right there. We got that sound right. I'm just messing with you. What's good, bro?
To CB's point, second place in the paid league, so I got the first round bye, if you will. So more so doing kind of the scouting, for the players, because at this point you got injured players. You realize that teams kind of focus on, number one receivers and stuff like that. So it's like that third option, if you will. Yeah, it looks like you're drinking clear.
Look at that mug.
That's crazy. But no, other than that, listen, man, work finally kind of slowing down. So I thought yesterday was Thursday. I thought I was like late for the for the show.
That was a nightmare of mine. Is that I overslept the show? I forgot to do the show.
So now we're here though. It's Thursday. Let's go.
All right. Yeah. So look, the week has been weekend. We're coming up on another holiday shortly, which is Christmas. So if you celebrate Christmas, Feliz Navidad, all that good stuff. Smokey Robinson said Happy Chanukah a couple weeks ago. But yeah, whatever you celebrate, happy holidays to you. Appreciate you for being here. So got a show for you tonight. Shout out to everybody that was at the green room on Station Head a couple minutes ago. Again, if you ever tuned in to the green room on Station Head ever, it's just a quick 30-minute behind the scenes look on what's getting ready to happen on what the current episode ahead of the show or after the show. So we're on episode 185 tonight. Nobody knows. All right, fellas, look. Got a couple things we need to get to, some business items, but let everybody know this is next week. We're wrapping this year up. We have our 2 biggest shows of the year next week. We're like Drake. We're going back to back. December 27th. I'm assuming we need to do 9 p.m. Is everybody good with 9 p.m.? Because the show is probably going to run about an hour and a half. It typically runs a little longer. So we're saying 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Perhaps I'm waiting on the Cali to let me know if he's good with 9 p.m.
Are we getting time and a half for this? I forgot, because we just... So 9 p.m. next week, December 27th, We Are Something Else presents Soul Tales. That's me, CB, E-Rich, R Money, regular old guy, Be Easy, and maybe a couple other guests chiming through. But we're going to talk top 5 sneakers on the last Soul Tales of the year. So if you're into sneakers, chime in, have fun, send your sneakers to our Instagram page as We Are Something Else on IG, WERSUMTHINELSE. Send it there. And then the 28th, the very next night, 9 p.m. That's me, CB, E-Rich. Superfly will be back as he normally joins us for the annual wrap-up show. We probably have a couple other faces
hop through and we're gonna talk top 5 albums of the year. Now I did my count. I listened to about 40 albums this year. 40 albums. So we're gonna imagine putting 40 albums into five of those best ones. It's tough. That's what makes it the best show in the last show of the year. So yeah, with all those programming notes, put that in your schedules, and then after that, we're out for a couple weeks. We're going to Maui. We're going somewhere for a couple weeks. But all right. With all that said, fellas, all the decorative. I'm in front of the fireplace. Shout out to Takeover Trina. Shout out. You know what time it is. Let's wrap. All right. So this is probably one of the biggest stories that's happening right now on the news and in Hollywood. Let's talk about it. So Jonathan Majors found guilty of assault and harassment. Right. Monday, a 6-person jury reached their verdict after 3 days of deliberation. Majors will be sentenced on February 6th. Faces up to a year in prison. All right. He had 2 more charges against him that he was found not guilty on. Immediately after the guilty sentence, Marvel, we knew what was going to happen. Marvel released him from the deal. They fired him shortly thereafter, and he was Kang the Conqueror within the universe. He had already done Ant-Man, I believe, and Loki season 2. And he was probably getting ready to get his own project. He was probably getting ready to do that. But
yeah, there was going to be a Kang movie.
Right.
So
now I'm assuming they're going to do what they do best and just replace him. Right. Just like they replaced Terrence Howard with Don Cheadle. Right. And so it'd be interesting. I'm still interested in to think how Terrence Howard would have handled the Marvel universe if he had stayed within it. Don Cheadle did okay, but I never saw Don Cheadle as an action hero or like a superhero kind of thing. But he handled his own. If you can act, you can act, right? And he did okay. But let's just talk about it. Majors was on. He was fizzling. He was bubbling within the movie realm, and he was getting ready to take off. I mean, again, he had secured the Marvel deal, which is kind of, that's Disney, that's money, that's kind of in sequels, and that's kind of them putting money behind them. But let's talk about the year he had. He had let me see. Okay, yeah, he had done Creed 3, Ant-Man, Loki, Harder They Fall was a major movie for him last year, right? But let's quick reminder. Back in March, Majors called 911 when he found his girlfriend unconscious in their apartment. So, and then there's video that surfaced and all that. So, guilty though. And that's the thing. So, my questions to you are, before I turn it over. Thoughts on the guilty. Thoughts on Marvel firing him, and then let's talk about, is this the end of his career? Is he going to have to take a backseat for a while? Typically, we don't get second chances, right? Example, look at Nate Parker. If you don't know who Nate Parker is, Nate Parker was bubbling as well, and he had wrote and directed Birth of a Nation. And right before that movie came out, he had those allegations against him. And he hasn't done a movie since. That was 2016. All right. Rich.
You sure you want to start with me?
Hold on one second. CB.
When in doubt. I mean, this was interesting to me because I'm not that familiar with the criminal, the judicial system, as we'll call it. So when I was reading that this was a case that was actually brought up by the state, different than it being a civil case, and you know, there were some of those elements that I was like, all right, well, this is a little bit more nuanced for me than I was thinking. You know, I'm thinking maybe it was like the ex-girlfriend or whatever that was bringing it up, but you know, it clearly they were using a lot of evidence that they were saying originally wasn't going to be admissible in the trial, which then they ended up allowing it, like some text messages and stuff like that, which didn't necessarily prove anything, but it didn't paint like a very good picture for him. And so, but still reading up on it, it doesn't really sound, that sounds like there could be like a strong case for him to appeal. So we will see what ends up happening of it, but these are the repercussions, man. Like these billion-dollar companies are quick, and unfortunately it probably have an easier time getting back in if he was a white dude that then you know, played a black guy in a military comedy movie. You know, he might have a better chance coming back if that's the deal.
Absolutely. Shout out to Ren. I see you. Bianca, appreciate you for being here. My man E.
All right, so let's just get into it. Misdemeanor assault, meaning that he will not do any jail time. So what we're looking at is, if you look at the court documents of what was said and what was done, was that he was found guilty for the harm that he did to her while he was putting her back in the car. There was nothing that was ever stated as far as any physical assault prior to that, right? He was a misdemeanor assault was to her finger as he was putting her back into the vehicle, and then promptly ran away from the situation. And then she chased after him. So let's just go ahead and put it into perspective, right? You get charged with a misdemeanor for jaywalking. You get charged for a misdemeanor for doing very low level that you don't get jail time. You actually get a citation. You pay court fees, and then you are done. So with that being said, if that is a offense in that sense to where you get fired from your job, is wild, right? Like this one right here, I just gotta say it. Right. At this point, it's comical, right? Because we have to laugh in order for it not to be more than what it is. But we know that there are other Marvel characters that have gotten into other type of criminal situations that somehow got their second chance, i.e., Mr. Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, absolutely. He got at least five chances.
So again, what are we talking about? But he's the face of Marvel as far as Iron Man, because like they even talk about how they got to figure out how to bring the shit back, because is it really what it was without Iron Man? But let's go into that. Johnny Depp, right? Whole situation that played out in court, and even with his situation of there was some back and forth between the two of them. You know what I'm saying? In that sense, I think what they did was, a matter of fact, I think this is what happened. They were already filming the next Pirates. He went to court, and then they did what they were supposed to do, and he got found not guilty. As a matter of fact, she lost and she had to pay him. They then started rolling back and say, you know what? Fuck it. Now we'll film with Johnny Depp as Cap. Like, so what are we talking about here? Again, this is the bullshit when it comes to that. We got to do our own shit. But you know what? I'm going to say it. And it is what it is. The flagrancy of this starts with, he was dealing with a certain type of colored female. And we know what this country's history is when it comes to that. He is a statured, when you look at a bodybuilder or somebody of his stature, and you're talking about a frail white lady, I mean, call it what you will, it almost screamed Emmett Till for a hot second. You know what I'm saying? You would have thought that that's what was happening, but you see the man running blocks away from this to remove himself from the situation that she was trying to be, that she amped up and made more than what it was. But when you put yourself in those situations, really nothing you can do about it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You got millions of dollars on the table. You got to move differently. You have to walk away from every situation, no matter what it is. Just walk away, no hands, no nothing. Look, at that point, and so the rumor was that she had saw a text message on his phone, and he got aggressively and got it back from her. At that point, look, what is let her take the phone. I mean, you're better off. I mean, you got to protect your investment, which is you, because now it's going to take some time. Somebody will give him another shot. It's just going to take a while. Like he has to, and sad he has to do it. But I mean, he almost has to go out and clear his name, and probably going back in the court with the appeal, and or just disappearing for a while and finding something else to do, and then try to just build his way back up. That's how it is with us. All right. Let's go here. So where are my drinkers at? Where are my alcoholics at? Yes, let's talk about it. That is an alcohol bottle, liquor bottle that says Doritos on it. And it is the color of the nacho cheese Doritos. With the holidays coming up, I'm sure there'll be a lot of drinking games within a certain community who wants to try this. So let's talk about this. Nacho cheese corn tostada umami, hint of acidity. Serves neat or over ice in a margarita or Bloody Mary. Ingredients: malted barley, Belgian saison yeast, 2 Doritos nacho cheese. Okay, tastes like the real thing. Experience the indulgent flavors of your favorite snack in a liquid form. The spirit opens with umami and tangy aromas of nacho cheese, moving to the deeper corn-forward flavors of the chip to finish on a soft, salty note. exactly, DD. The origin of the Dorito spirit is serendipitous, like the best things are. Okay. I don't even want to read the rest of this shit.
What were some of these people I should have went to school with so they could have wrote my papers? Because damn, I mean,
marketing team for the what's that? The McDonald's thing, the McFly. What was that?
the
Cosmics. And then the marketing team for this empirical vodka, whatever this is, liqueur with the nacho cheese flavored. Yeah, bro, this is absolutely disgusting. Look, I've chewed a Dorito to the point where it wasn't a Dorito anymore, and I can't imagine that in liquid form. Like, what the fuck? Like, this is disgusting. Like, who sits around and has that much money, or that if you can invent a Dorito alcohol and think people are going to buy this, we should be out here curing some of these diseases. Put some of that thought into that.
You're asking for too much, man. You're making too much sense, bro.
This is my take on this. Bunch of college frat boys sitting around, and they got a bag of Doritos, and they ground it up, and they dumped it in some vodka, and they drank it. You know what? This should be a drink. Okay. Now I really need to start with CB on this one, because half of him, he might have half the answer here.
I'll try a lot of things once, and this is something that I would try because I am a Doritos fanboy. So it is one of those things, like, I'm not going to shy away from it. Like, I would. The thing is, and you talk about how that, like, advertisement or whatever you want to call it, that profile was written. They like literally made up their own liquor. Like, it's not a vodka, it's not a gin. It doesn't say any of that shit on there. Just, it's just a Doritos infused or whatever liquor, which.
And you could be neat or over ice in a margarita or Bloody Mary.
And if you realize those two drinks do not use the same liquor component, which, so, it's very hilarious. But shout out to Doritos. Like I said, I don't think if I ever bought a bottle of this, it would literally just be to, I'd probably take one shot and then just put that thing on the shelf because that's hilarious.
All right. E. Rich, will you be drinking with CB?
Not at all. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna say something that's probably gonna piss some people off in the comments, but what's new? People who probably have this alcohol Dorito or whatever it's called are the same people that have the little Debbie candles in their house.
Bro, you're absolutely right. Like, this is like the product placement of like these snacks people are doing is crazy.
Like, don't you can at me all you want. Like, I guarantee you that's what's happening. They got Big Debbie, because she's not even little Debbie no more. She's Big Debbie at this point.
Debbie now.
Big Deborah, because she got people out here with cankles and all kind of, you know what I'm saying? Just, it's really bad out here with all the shit that they're trying to put out. Like, listen, man, people, get healthy, bro. Like, just stop this shit right now.
Let's talk about this. Some of this stuff you can turn into other things, like Taco Bell doing the Doritos flavored taco shells, right? That was that was a good creation. It's a good way to put your mind to work and create something that might actually taste good. That works. Okay, boom. But the sad part is, it is starting with the nacho cheese. You can only imagine other flavors or other things to come behind just this one nacho cheese flavor. Because where there's nacho cheese, ranch is to follow shortly. It is what it is, right?
Right. And the thing is it cracks me up, because if you have ever had Doritos in your life, sometimes it's because you got wasted in the first place. So they're kind of just combining the entire experience into one thing. And I don't really know if that is the way to go. But like I said, I'm interested enough to at least try it.
All right. Shout out to Kim, if I didn't say that yet. And shout out to Real Estate Poppy, Dimitri. I saw you, DD. Great job, Bianca. What'd you say?
No, I was just saying what up to the chat.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, we ain't gonna hang on that one too long. Let's do this one. The story we had to put off last week just to make some room. So big news here in the DMV area, especially in the DC and Virginia portion of it. Ted Leonsis, the owner of the Washington Wizards, Washington Mystics, and the Washington Capitals. He is packing his bags up and moving his teams out of Washington, D.C. into Virginia. Now, this is kind of been the story, a sports story within the past couple of years or so, because of the Commanders as well. We know FedEx Field, FedEx Field, big candles. FedEx Field, the lease is up there, and the talk about moving the Commanders back into DC or out into further out into VA or staying in Maryland has been the talk. So now with Leonsis packing his bags and essentially saying, yeah, once my compound is done in VA, we are leaving out of DC, which is going to have several repercussions. Because DC is a business district, and everything that's around Capital One Arena right now, you got apartments, businesses, restaurants, all that, and it's kind of like an entertainment kind of area. And with Capital One Arena being just an empty hole around there right now, maybe it turns into a concert venue. Who knows? Like, businesses are going to suffer. Like Clyde's, if you're familiar with Clyde's has already said once their lease is up, they're out, because there's going to be nothing driving business to their business, because Capital One is right there. And typically people eat there before the game, after the game, or watch the game from the bar. So they're out. There's also a bowling alley there. So who knows what's going to happen, but not a good look if you're the mayor of DC right now. But also what could happen is the new owners of the Washington Commanders they can call their own shots right now. The only team left in DC right now. Well, you got the soccer team, you got the United, and you got the Nationals, but they're on the outskirts of DC. There's nothing in the heart of DC, and they've been trying to get the Commanders to the old RFK site, but there's holdups there too. So now, really, if he wants, he can call his own shots to get land or wherever he wants to build the stadium into DC. CB, thoughts on everything that's happening in the area?
So I think that it's economically probably, not a good move if they end up following through with it. Because I agree with some of the stuff I was reading earlier, just some of the sentiments from the people that live in the city and everything. Because I do live in the suburbs. I'm not going to say that I'm down in Northeast or anything. I don't, so, but there is more for DC to lose than there is for Virginia to gain in this scenario. And, they're talking about, it's going to be this, sports complex. And the concept of that sounds great. But depending on what news station you tune into, there's also like a retail space crisis or a bubble that they're talking about as being about to burst, right? So you're going to build more retail space, that might end up not being filled. You know what I mean? Like I think Leonsis is trying to do what is best for his business, but as a fan of the team, I always think it's weird when a sports team is not in the city that they have like in their name, like that. It's always, and even though in most cases that's like how it is, it's weird that they've been the Washington whatevers and they've been out here in Landover, Maryland. Like,
real quick, another good point. He just built that compound on the outskirts of DC for an entertainment compound for the Mystics to play at.
But what they were saying is he was saying that like they'd probably try to keep the Mystics at Capital One, and like you were alluding to, kind of turning it into a concert venue or whatever. But I really think that there's just a lot more to be lost within the city in terms of, just what it brings, like you're talking about, from an economic standpoint, the people coming in to, and go to the bars and everything beforehand. You just hang out, the memories that people have recently from like the Caps winning the Stanley Cup, what the city was like when the Nationals won the World Series and things like that, because we haven't had football success in basically my entire life. So or Wizards success for the most part. Like, shout out to the Mystics for being able to bring some hardware to the city as far as basketball goes. But I don't know, man. I think that it's just another one of those situations where a billionaire is trying to get taxpayer dollars to fund a project. Like, right. I don't know.
And before you go, E, I'm wondering, because where the location is that he's building this compound, I'm wondering how much Bezos influence that is as well, because Bezos built that Amazon complex close around the corner to that. Mm-hmm. And it's close to an airport. So some things to consider there. E, my bad. Go ahead, bro.
No, you good. I guess the question that I have is, and I've been out there in a very long time, but I would say the question I have is the question. So the question I have is what is it that he's trying to accomplish, right, in regards to it being Virginia, right? Like, everybody, like, at this point, it's a money move. It's got to be a money grab,
absolutely.
Right? But the question is, and kind of like to where CB was saying, like, the loss of DC is it not really going to lose money because you have DC looks different than what it did about 15 years ago, right? You know what I mean? There's money kind of now all in DC as far as different things that are popping off compared to whatever it was before. Like it was kind of just the nightclub scene and then a couple of restaurants, if that, but really that was it. Now it's like shit, every damn street has something going on, right?
Oh yeah, sure.
But don't you lose the people that, and I'm looking at it from the standpoint of, is Maryland going to really go from that aspect of I'm going to Northern Virginia, or now is this pushing people towards what I consider up north towards the Baltimore area, where you have the casino that's where it's at as far as in Maryland. Baltimore just put out that they're doing their thing to like up, the stadium, right? Because guess what?
Right. They're staying and they just don't upgrade.
Yes. If you think about it, what's it gonna do if they end up getting if they go in the playoffs, have a nice run, and end up even going to the Super Bowl? What is that? That's gonna automatically kind of create that. Well, I guess we're going to Baltimore. You know what I mean? Like I feel like this is that divider. When it was always you could you had your pick right where it was. Like you can just do. Now it's like I'm not driving to Northern Virginia for shit. Like we didn't even want to drive there to go play football at Gravelly Point. We didn't even want to drive there.
So that's where it is. It's on Georgetown GW Parkway. So let me just things you asked for real quick, Kendall. Yes. So the city, there's multiple stadiums within the city, right? But the thing about building in a city is just there's this like the areas are tight. Like they rather build condos and high rises than tear down and build these stadiums. So what they did was on the outskirts near the water, they bought up a bunch of the projects, right? They gentrified the area, bought up a bunch of the projects, gave people what they thought was an amazing amount of money, and they flipped the area, right? And so they put Nats Park out there and built a bunch of restaurants and infrastructure around that. And then right across the street, they built a soccer complex, Mercedes-Benz Stadium, where the United play because they were playing out in RFK, and RFK is just a dump right now, right? So you put them over there. But the thing about the Mercedes-Benz Stadium is it doubles as the XFL Stadium too. So they're getting a lot of, they're doubling up on a lot of these stadiums, but they're making crazy amount of money. But right where the Wizards play, heart of the business district of DC, and the stadium is actually underground. Right. So the arena you go in, you go down. So you're underground in this arena. It's 82 games in the basketball season, something like that. Mm-hmm. So half of that 42, whatever, 40-ish, whatever home games. And you're talking about some back-to-back nights that like they're losing a lot of revenue, even if the Wizards suck, by moving them out, because even just a casual fan on a Monday night, if the Wizards are playing, just anybody would just go see a basketball game for $30, but then the money sells with alcohol, right? And then let's say LeBron comes to town. Boom.
It's gonna be interesting. That's where Live from the Cheap Seat is talking about the when teams move, right? Or like in this case, right, the different tax that they were paying to play in DC compared to now having to pay tax in playing in Virginia, right? But then also, again, what we've talked about before on Live from the Cheap Seats, and I'm plugging the shit out of it because it's the first of the year to be ready for it. No, is this though, right? We talked about why Kevin Durant was not coming back to DC. We're not going back to. Why would he really now go back? And it's not even DC no more. Like you're talking about the Northern Virginian Wizards. You know what I'm saying? Like
the Gravelly Park Wizards.
Right. You know what I mean? Like what is the, I guess like my question for you guys that are out there, like what's the grab of the area that's going to get a superstar or a potential up and coming superstar to want to be out there and live? Because that's what it is, right? It's living first. Like, yes, the city is the city, sports is sports, but they look at it and it says like, I don't even want to live out there. Like, it's almost like going to fucking Minnesota or, you know what I'm saying, or Wisconsin. Like, I fuck want to live there.
So real quick, but before we move on, there are a couple things about the city that it's always been drawing star power, right? Typically, you have to draft, and typically they don't become stars till they leave, right? So my question to you, CB, right now, who is the biggest star in DC right now? Who is the marquee player in all of DC sports right now? You could pick Commanders. You could pick in the other squads too. I know who it is, but go ahead.
Wait, I may have to weigh in on this one. Hold on.
Damn it.
It's tough, right? Because they've had a lot of good players, but people didn't really.
Not because the way that you normally answer these questions is it's a star pitcher, it's a star quarterback, it's a star point guard, and there are literally none of those in the city. There's none. There's no marquee like player.
There's only one marquee player out of all DC DMV sports right now. There's only one. When I say the name, you're like, oh yeah, Ovi. He's the only drawer.
But the thing with Ovi, and because he's one of the GOATs, is he's at the tail end of his, we're talking about him chasing Wayne Gretzky's record at this point. Like that's, it's not the same as when it was younger Ovi, like carrying some of the squads, into the playoffs and things like that. So like, and we're talking like he's Russian, man. He talked about how Rush is the greatest, like in terms of like how he lives his life. So he goes back and like that's what he does in the offseason. He's not necessarily in DC, like being around and everything. So it's a little bit different. You expect the star from the area to be someone that is going to be bringing people out, and Ovi does do that, but we are talking about hockey, and the city is not like for as much love as they have for the Caps, it's not like a hockey city, you know what I mean? Like right. They're still going to choose football over everything when it comes to that.
Right. Okay.
My answer would have been Trinity Rodman, but
yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. There are a couple girls on that squad that are very good.
That's actually a good answer. That's a really good answer.
Yeah.
We y'all on your cheap seat show, which will come back in the new year in video format, you definitely have to talk about some of the greatness that we have had in the area that they just let go. If you think about that coaching core that the Redskins had at the one point, where is it still over? I mean, he's the big name. I mean, he sells jerseys still. He's older. Yeah, we're talking hockey. This is how bad the area is, Kendall. This is how bad it is. Oh my God, Clinton Portis. Look, let me tell you, Clinton Portis has a local TV deal where he was doing sideline reporting. Clinton Portis is like Ron Burgundy. He will read anything on that teleprompter. It was bad. It was bad. Not as bad as Rick Doc Walker. Let me stop. Let's keep going. We got to keep going. I digress. Okay. Before we move on, look. So fellas, look, we are upon the holiday season, and I put together a top 10 holiday pet peeves list. Right? I put together this list, and as I read this list, you let me know how you feel about it. If I'm on point, most of these are mine. I had some input, but here we go. Top 10 holiday pet peeves. Number 10. When your mom reminds you to invite that one cousin that nobody else messes with to dinner. That's a pet peeve. It's a pet peeve. When you got to invite that cousin nobody rocks with because your mom wants him there. It's a pet peeve. Number 9. Family white elephant giveaways. That is a pet peeve. Why? It's just a way to disguise of getting rid of all the shit you don't want in your house. Right? That's the way. It's a pet peeve. And then also, look, with these white elephants, let's be honest, you're supposed to stick to like a $25 or whatever the amount is. Stick to the amount. Don't go up to the amount. Some people buy $12 gifts and saying, well, you said $25 was the limit. No, get as close to $25 as you can, please. And then don't go over the $25 trying to prove a point. Don't try to show up nobody. If the limit is 25, keep it at 25. It's a pet peeve when people do that. White elephants, again, I've seen so many re-gifts with Love R&B. Welcome. I've seen so many re-gifts at these white elephant events. Whatever. Okay. Number 8. Oh, here we go. We're about to get in the thick of things. This goes with almost with E. Rich's Is It Just E last week. That one person who decides to take a shit on the main level at the holiday party.
That's a violation.
Right there. Goes to the kitchen. We're getting ready to eat dinner. Getting ready to pray over the food. And you go to the back. Pet peeve. Pet peeve.
Violation. That person is no longer invited.
Number 7. People who take shits at your house anyways, regardless. Don't come to my house and use my bathroom.
You're not about to drop a log and think it's okay.
Pet peeve in general. Just don't.
Not if they know how Kaleo uses the bathroom. No one would.
One of these draw songs. I just saw his comment. Number 6. Small talk with people you only have. Exactly. Small talk with you can't even run the shower to at least try to eliminate it. There's no fan in the half bath. None of that. Small talk with people you only see once a year. No, that's a pet peeve. Why we got a small talk? No. Okay. Number 5. When you spend your time, when you spend your quality time gift wrapping somebody's present, got all the bows and streamers and nice labels, and they give you their gift in a Safeway bag. Pet peeve. Pet peeve.
I'll never do it again, God.
Pet peeve. All right, number 4. Number 4. When your grandparents, aunts, uncles all ask you why you ain't got nobody. That's a pet peeve. That's a pet peeve. That's a pet peeve. All right. Number 3. The relative that didn't bring shit to the dinner, but leave with 7 plates. That's a pet peeve. I got the nerve to tell you, I got lunch for the next couple of days. Pet peeve.
Got to regulate that.
That's the 15 minutes that you saw Uncle Tony.
Exactly. Number 2. When people say grace longer than a minute. Grace is you only got to bless the food a minute or less. People's stomachs are growling. You can hear them. We ain't gotta pay tribute to the ancestors at Christmas dinner, Thanksgiving dinner, Easter get together. No, 1 minute or less on grace. That's what I'm gonna do. So next time somebody wants to come say grace, I'm gonna get the oven timer, and while you praying, you're gonna hear that. And if you still praying and that timer goes off, we getting up and we getting our plates. You keep standing there praying if you want to over the food. Why do we need to have a sermon over macaroni and cheese, Hawaiian rolls, and whatever proteins you got? We don't need to have a long sermon. 1 minute or less. That's it. Number 1. This is my. When you say bow your heads and close your eyes, the food could be cold. Exactly. When they lead off with bow your heads, close your eyes, and whoever's holding that person's hand, they get the tight grip. And that person get the shaking and telling when they take Father God become.
That's why you gotta let the kids do it. It's gonna be short. To the point.
Number 1. Number 1. Mofos that want to turn my TV off of 24 hours of A Christmas Story because you want to watch something else. No. That is my number 1 pet peeve. Don't come over here anywhere between Christmas Eve night and Christmas night and trying to turn shit, because 24 hours of Christmas Story is going to run. All right. I think that's then I got a couple ones that didn't make the list. Other people threw my way. People who wait till Christmas Eve to go shopping and complain that there ain't shit left in the stores. Pet peeve. But the game is on. You got phones now, Kendall. YouTube TV. I got another TV. I got a couple of TVs. But yeah, that's my.
That's Kaleo telling everybody business has been good. Just real slight, I got a couple TVs.
Nah, well, I mean, whatever. Where? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Look, don't get me wrong. Yes, you could thank the Lord all day long. Slave Flex, because I got more than one TV. You can thank the Lord all day long. What did I say? Go back to Dimitri's comment. What did he say?
One new TV.
One big bag.
Listen.
And we all know which TV he's talking about.
People who still got the big bag TV cannot be trusted. Like just something about it. Like they got shit locked in their basement. That's probably that's.
If you got the big bag TV, dude, that was 2003. That was 20 years ago. You know what I mean?
Television. Oh my God. All right, my guy. Look, you stirred up some controversy last week, E.
I did.
I'm looking forward to what you.
Not be turning it. It's crazy. I didn't even say nothing yet. All right. So in the spirit of holidays and Christmas, I had to give a Christmas theme one before we got out of here for the year. But I'm gonna keep this one short and sweet. Shout out to all of the lactose intolerant people, because if you drink eggnog, that shit is nasty. Listen, you're drinking all it's like it's eggs and just whatever it is. This shit is nasty. Like I've never been an eggnog. I tasted this shit and I was like, what the fuck is this? I equate eggnog to like milk of magnesia. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just that bad, right? I don't understand eggnog. I don't understand what in the world people like gloss over with eggnog. So is it just is anytime somebody drinks eggnog, and even if it's once a year, I don't get it. What is the appeal of eggnog to where that's the shit for the holiday season, and therefore it becomes the drink of Christmas is eggnog? Now, I would say that if eggnog is that good, then it wouldn't require you people to have to, put certain things in it, alcohol maybe. So, where are we at with this, fellas? Because, like I said, I choose not. Anissa, it's all right. We all can't.
So look,
listen, we all can't, get it right. But anybody who drinks eggnog, I got a serious problem with you. And I know that you definitely fucking up the bathroom at whoever's house that you drinking that shit over, or you going home shortly thereafter.
So look, if CB can drink Doritos liquor, I can drink eggnog, right? That's at least halfway normal.
I was gonna say, yeah, I've tried eggnog.
Yeah, well, so yeah, I actually like eggnog. It could be spiked, non-spiked, and watching Big. That's my mom burning to the tube. Exactly. But now, look, I love eggnog. I know. Look, I got a lot of things wrong with me. But look, eggnog, I look forward to it every year. Exactly, Risa, it's delicious. Every year around this time, I got the Baileys. So if I need a little kick, I got that. Then I got the regular one to buy from the store. And you know what I do? I sit back on my MFN couch and watch my MFN 24 hours of A Christmas Story and drink eggnog. I'm like Eddie Murphy's dad. Yeah. So now, yeah, I like eggnog. Nothing wrong with it. Claire's, excuse me. I mean, look.
At least he asked for downstairs and not the main floor.
Downstairs, exactly. I'm not tearing up the main floor.
It is just one of those beverages that it only shows up this time of year. It's the same thing. Claire, you brought up the Baileys. There's also like bourbon cream. Like there's only like certain times of the year where I buy this kind of stuff. And the only excuse, the only excuse is just drinking. That's it. The alcohol, that's really all that it is. I don't know, because it is like one of those things. If it was really all that great, probably would be drank like year round. Like there's certain stuff that I like and I drink it all the time. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where I generally don't go out of my way to get eggnog, but it is one of those things where if I'm at a party or whatever and they got it, like I'll have some. But you better believe it's because I'm just trying to get my drink on. That's all.
You know what? I'm gonna go out my way and get DC shot pot. Go out my way for that. I'm not gonna have eggnog with it, but I will watch the big back TV with it. DC shop, I save 10%. Use our code WRSE10. Black owned business. Black owned business, right? Shout out to Grant and all the wonderful people at DC Shop. Look, get your deep dishes, get your flats. Call them, hit them up. WRC10, like save 10%. That's, Black Business Series 2024. We're gonna run back more Black Business Series than we had this year. That's just, it is what it is. It's not a catering. Well, look, we're gonna run back all this Black Business Series. We're gonna kick that up back in 2024. There's a lot of great things just in store, and I can't wait. I can't wait.
The soul.
All right, my guy CB. You know what it is. What do we have for that copper drop this week?
All right. So copper drop. It is the Puma LaMelo Ball MB03 Dexter's Laboratory collaboration. So these are like an official collaboration. It's not like a just colorway that's inspired. You can see the branding on the box. These are like Puma's kind of been doing their thing with a lot of the Mellow stuff. I give them a lot of credit for what they're trying to do over there. And these release tomorrow. They're a 10 a.m. Eastern time release on the Puma website. They're 135. I don't know if the mellows necessarily resonate with our generation, but the younger kids seem to really be about them. You know what I mean? So it is cool though, because what did the little kids these days know about Dexter's Laboratory? I don't know. That was, more our thing. But what are y'all thinking about these? Like, I don't own a pair of mellow shoes. There are some other things that are higher up on the priority board. I think these are kind of cool. I do like the collab aspect, but these are not a must cop for me. But what are you guys feeling? Copping or dropping?
The price point?
135.
135. All right, E.
Nah.
All right.
And listen, no slight to them. Like this ain't it for me.
All right. So I actually like these. I'm not. I've seen a lot of other colorways. Like his colorways are interesting. I mean, he definitely does the cartoon thing, which is attractive. But this is the first pair. It looks like lava lamps. The first pair that actually kind of do like the presentation of it. And just it's dope. I don't know if it's a cop right away, but I would not mind having these within the realm of my sneaker collection. All right. So hold on, let's say it again.
For the soul.
All right. It's time for some show and tell. Handle some business items and we get out of here. Look, I'll go first. Keep it simple. Boom. Everybody know what this box is, right? It's an old beat up ass Adidas box. Boom. Size 13. So look, let me go ahead and tell you. This is why sometimes being patient as a sneakerhead is in your favor, right? And sometimes, we like what we like as sneakerheads. We don't all have to like the same things, which is probably why next week, December 27th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, We Are Something Else presents Soul Tales top 5 sneakers of the year. We might have a couple differences of opinion with the sneakers of the year on. So we got 5 of them. We had a long year of purchasing shoes that we've had or shoes that we didn't have. So yeah, next week, Wednesday, chime in, top 5 sneakers of the year. We're going to start a little early because that show typically runs a little longer because it's just the wrap-up show for the sneakers. But look, again,
what are we going to say?
Patient as a sneaker, it pays off. There's a pair of shoes I've been eyeing since the beginning of the year. Just a basic ass pair of Adidas. Right here, boom. Obviously, I got them right. So all year long, I've been eyeing these. And to y'all, it may not look like nothing, but something about these just stood out to me. They were $100+ all year long. I was like, damn, I might have to try to grab them. But the thing is, these also was a limited colorway. I think that's what kind of drove me to it. But all year long, $100. And I was like, well, I'll wait until I just got money just to go ahead and purchase these. When I went to buy them, my size sold out. And then when you go try to search them on the web, nobody can find them. Well, I tell you what, the other day I was just out and about, and I had to look through a little peephole of the window of a sneaker store, and these are right here in the window, like when Ralphie saw the BB gun. I went inside, and so for spending $100, these things were on sale for $30. All I had to do was wait all year long for them, and I got them for $70+ cheaper than I wanted. Than I would have paid for them. I bought them earlier this year. So this one is about a sneaker win this year. And I've had some other major sneaker wins, but this right here is dope. Saving money and getting the sneaker you want. Rich.
Probably not going to be able to see the box. That part. You ain't gotta like them, but I've been talking about them. And you damn right, your boy definitely got a pair.
Bang bang.
If you know what it is with me and Kobe, that these was a mandatory cop. This would have been the price is the price. However, your boy got lucky and got the exclusive hit on the sneakers app and definitely got that W. So all is well with the sneaker gods until the 27th when the Pro Tros 4, and then we're gonna have to talk to them again and make sure that they definitely hit us back. So with that being said, you ain't gotta like them, and if you didn't get them, it's all right. It's all right.
All right, CB.
It's fucked up because I also got the exclusive access and I wasn't paying attention, so I basically didn't get it. But this was
the soul.
more along the lines of Kaleo's.
There you go. Those boxes in the mail too.
I was strolling around and there's an Adidas outlet not too far, and they got Ultra Boost marked down like half price, more than 50%. So these were either 80 or $100. I think they will qualify for our boy our money bags. Keeping it 100. So, and this is, it's like the earth tones, like that's like in right now. Like I'm really into wearing shoes with like the earth tones and everything on there. So these are perfect for that. And these are still super cozy. So great. Patience saves pockets, man. You don't got to be out there just buying up all the super expensive hype shit if you don't want
absolutely. Look, so we are at that point of the show where it is pretty much time to go, but a couple parting words. Again, shout out for everybody in the chat. I saw Bianca, I saw Kendall, I saw Dimitri, I saw Risa, I saw I saw Anissa, I saw Bianca, I saw Dee Dee. Who else? If I missed you, I apologize. Oh, Takeover. Absolutely, Takeover. But look, so a couple notes that we want to provide for you. Next week, we're running 5 shows this month. And next week are the last 2, going back to back like Drake. So Tuesday, December 27th. No, Wednesday, December 27th. I'm sorry. Wednesday, December 27th. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We Are Something Else presents 4 Soul Tales presents Soul Tales. It's the wrap up show. Top 5 sneakers of the year. Look, that's why it's time to go, bro. Like it's time for a break.
Tell me you're tired without telling me you're tired.
Hey, exactly.
Read this shit backwards.
Exactly. So then look, the very next night, December 28th, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, We Are Something Else returns with the top 5 albums of the year. We take these shows very serious. We take these lists very serious. If you have top 5 sneakers or top 5 albums you want to submit to the show, you too, Kendall. Appreciate you. If you have sneakers you want to present, submit to the show, we show them on the show, and or albums, go to our IG. We Are Something Else. WERSUMTHINELSE. Submit your list, and we'll present them on the show. Yeah. So then tomorrow, programming notes. Make sure y'all join us on the Beehive. Exactly. It's the wrap up show. It's the Oscars are the source of what? Exactly. I might even wear a tuxedo next week. But yeah, join us at the Beehive tomorrow for Funky Friday, Kendall B Show, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Station Head, and following him 12:01 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We would be doing We Are Something Else presents the Abstract with me. But look, fellas, real quick, couple things, because we might not, I don't know, this is probably the last time us three will be together in the show format, because we'll have guests next week on both shows. But look, I want to tell you guys, look, we had a great year. We had a great run this year. We set out to do the things we wanted to do, plus more. Met a lot of dope people in the process, which are the ones that's here and the ones that couldn't be here this week, and the ones that's constantly showing support. You know how big I am on support. So I appreciate you, fellas. Look, we set out to get 3310 in the top 20 on AMP. We got that 2 weeks in a row, right? We set out to do a We Are Something Else song, and we dropped Hit and Run with Sean Xavier. Shout out to Sean Xavier, whose album drops next week as well. We'll play that on the Abstract. We built great relationships. We expanded the brand, right? We all did different things outside of the pod this year, which is amazing. And even though we'll be off for the first few weeks of January, does not mean we'll not be working behind the scenes for something that we want to premiere on January 2nd. So if y'all remember a show I kind of started earlier this year, Smoke and Spiel is a movie review podcast, and we did albums, dropped twice a month on Tuesdays. Appreciate you. Happy holidays to everybody. Happy holidays to you, Nisa. Smoke and Spiel. We are returning with Smoke and Spiel January 2nd. That's a Tuesday, and it'll probably be in the morning. But yeah. Stay tuned for what movie it's going to be, what album it's going to be. It's dope. And then Live from the Cheap Seats. Y'all heard E. Rich and CB say they're going to bring that back in a live format setting. So got a lot of things on tap.
We got faces for video, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
we got faces for video. That's all that it is.
More sponsorships on the way, more partnerships on the way. I'm 4 minutes over. So with all that said, next week we wrap this shit up, baby, for 2023. Take a break and be back for 2024. So what a year, fellas. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all, man.
Love y'all, fellas, man. It was fun this year, man. We really
on YouTube.
I didn't mean to hit that. I hit that too soon.
You know, me and E. Rich actually met in person. You know what I mean? After chopping it up.
We went out and did the mob dinner, the mob style dinner. You know, we got dressed in all black. Look. We
had the Larry June show earlier in the year. You know what I mean? We showed up to B's pop-up in Bowie Town Center and everything. Like,
it's a great look. It's a great year.
It was dope.
And then look, all that through the word manifestation. That's what we got for y'all next year. Manifesting. We're gonna make this all pan out and work out. Somebody gonna cut us a check in a deal. Hey, Chantel, appreciate you. Somebody go write this check, this contract, and be like, yo, fellas, we got to have y'all. So that's all I gotta say. Look, next year, you know what 2024 is gonna bring? You know what it's gonna bring? Hold on, wait a minute. I can't close. Hold on, wait a minute. Damn. It's just because I haven't played that yet. I feel the rain. I'm not gonna play that. But 2024 is gonna bring episode 200. We are guaranteed episode 200 in 2024. So that's all I got to say. 15 episodes away from that. We are something else. 185. Nobody knows.
Follow us on YouTube at WRSC Podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe.
Peace.